good.
All right. What's up, everybody? How are you, Denver? I hope you're doing great. It's been beautiful. I hope you guys were in the parks this weekend. Oh my gosh. Sloan's Lake, the grass is like bushy. I love it. They're not mowing it yet, so it's very pleasant out there. Now we've got a guest coming on, probably pretty quickly. So I want to hit a couple of beats to make sure we get it in before she gets here. So let's just jump right to the giveaway. Are we ready to do that? Can we spin the wheel?
Oh, yeah. Just give me 1 second. We're not ready
So,
just right yet. Do something
sorry,
really quick.
I sprung it up. So last week, what we did is we had this very generous offer from Simona Float Center in Denver, Colorado, which is the best place in planet Earth to go to a float tank. I mean, if people haven't been there, this place is like a temple. And if you don't know what a float tank is basically you go in there, you just relax. All you do is float for about an hour. You can be in there 90 minutes. You could book it for longer than that. It's a wonderful place. So what Simona put together was a giveaway for couples, partners, cousins, friends, whatever, for 2 people. So last week we announced that. Troy put it up on TikTok, and we had, I don't know, 50 plus people put it together. So what we're going to do right now is do a live drawing for 3. So we need 3 people are getting a float with their buddy. So we're giving away 6 floats at Samana. And I think that's what you call them. You call them floats.
6
because
floats.
that's what you do. So we can get into that like right now. Tom, if you want to give it a spin, for the first one, I think we'll do 3, and then we can announce that whoever they tagged in the promotion, then they get a free float.
Okay, so we're gonna have 3 of these. Let's do the first one here. We got a big spin going.
Nice.
I've got TikTok open too, so we're ready to DM the winners right now.
Sweet. The random wheel spinner is clutch. I mean, that might be the mascot of the podcast at this point. It's because it's so handy.
We got it. We got Irish Lassie 1 on the first giveaway.
Irish Lassie 1, let's go. You are a winner.
Irish Lassie 1, and let me make sure that their username is the same.
Irish Lassie 1.
Irish Lassie 1 username and handle, both
nice.
The same.
Irish Lassie 1. I'm going to the.
I see her. She tagged Palm.
I'm going to. I'm looking at the comments here.
She tagged Palm CDMOC as her float guest.
Okay. Okay, so Irish Lassie and Palm are in. And we got 2 more here.
Congratulations, Irish Lassie.
I can actually.
Yeah, we got 2 more.
I could remove them from the wheel, spin again. So let's do that. It was really close on fermented nuts that time. They almost got the dub.
That's a good username.
You know, the best part now, you can't float. I mean, technically you probably could float.
We're losing you a little bit, Ryan.
Oh, shoot. Am I breaking up a little bit?
Slightly. Yeah.
And our second winner, though, we just got that. Callie Gonzalez 5541.
Let's go, Callie. And we did have a couple people ask, like, you know, does it have to be with your partner? It doesn't, because you're not going to float with another person in the same place. Mm-hmm. So you show up together. You can go into your separate cabanas. After that, you know, after your float, then you get back together. My favorite thing, I like floating with somebody. Again, you're not floating in the same place. You have your own private area, but then you just go to Denver Central Market down the street and grab lunch.
Yeah. It's a lot of good stuff right around there. So
what was the second winner's name? I can't find that one.
We have Callie Gonzalez 5541. So it's with Callie with a K. Kali Gonzalez.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
5541. Yeah, Samana's in a great spot over by Rhino. And you can get into a lot of nice restaurants, anything over there after your float. Let's see our final.
Yeah. And if you can tie it, let's do the final one.
Yes.
If you can time your float to be post-workout too. So like you go train, or like let's say you go do like a 14er in the morning. You get back, it'd have to be a close 14er, but then you go sit in the float tank. It's wonderful. Now, one thing though is that because there's so much salt in water for the float tank, just be aware that every single scratch on your body comes alive. So
yeah, I can imagine.
You've got a rug burn.
Ooh.
You got a rug burn, and you might want to reschedule.
I can only imagine what that's like. I gotta try out the float tanks here. I was just talking about them a week or two ago with a friend, and I think it's something I gotta try. But we have a final winner. We got ZMC 5094. Same username, same handle. ZMC 5094, our third winner. So Callie, ZMC, and Irish Lassie won.
Nice.
Amazing.
It looks like ZMC tagged multiple people too.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have to choose. He's gonna have to choose here who he wants to bring.
He's gonna have to choose.
He himself is the winner.
All right, I just hit up all three of them. Congrats to the winners. You are going to be floating soon.
Wow.
Yeah.
They got to let us know. If you guys are listening in, let us know how it goes. Take a little video for us, send it over, and we'll feature it on the TikTok as well.
Yeah. Shout out to Samana. Thanks so much for doing this giveaway. Now we're going to do another giveaway this week on the newsletter. And if you haven't subscribed to the newsletter, it is realgooddenver.com. You can sign up very easily. It's growing precipitously. I think we've passed 10,000 subscribers, which is amazing. How should we do this giveaway? I forgot how we did the newsletter giveaway. How do you even do that? You have to like.
I'll clip another TikTok video. We'll put it on all the socials, and then in the video we'll explain that to win the giveaway, you just need to comment and then make sure you're subscribed to the newsletter.
That's a good idea. So subscribe to the newsletter, and then we have to cross-reference it to the TikTok people that put it on there. So it'll be on TikTok is where you basically say, hey, I went to realgooddenver.com. I signed up for the newsletter. Now I'm eligible for the rest of the floats.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how we're running.
Maybe we could just have them comment their email address or something. And then they could pick their friends that they want to bring. Because that way, if they comment the email address they signed up with for their newsletter, that would make it easiest for sure.
Comment with the email address. Is that crazy to ask or no?
They could also comment and then send us a DM with their email address if they don't want it to be.
Yeah, that's good.
Public info.
Let's do that. Comment the person you want to float with.
Yes.
And then DM your email address, and then we'll email the results for that giveaway. That's a good one.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's
Perfect.
solid.
We'll have that video up and running probably Thursday, so we can start the giveaway.
Amazing. Okay. Perfect. Okay. I know we've got a guest coming very, very soon, probably, I think. But I want to go over a couple of news bits that will be coming in the newsletter this week. So there's a big Buc-ee's battle between Palmer Lake Mayor. Apparently he resigned as the town is debating annexing land for a massive Buc-ee's.
Wow.
I mean, I got to figure out what side of the Buc-ee's he's on here, because if I see a Buc-ee's, I'm stopping. You know what I mean?
Where's Palmer Lake?
It's down south. It's like towards Colorado Springs. It might even be through Colorado Springs. I'm not exactly sure.
Okay, gotcha.
But
we got one north. Now we need one south.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, Buc-ee's, Bucky's is a trip. I'd never been there until that one in Fort Collins opened. You
I,
know,
I still have not lost my Bucky's virginity. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. But I've never been to a Bucky's before.
Me either. I haven't made it up to the Fort Collins area one just yet.
Do they have good, like their own branded beef jerky?
they do, and fudge,
Okay, 'cause
and chicken sandwiches. I mean, like, who doesn't like a good truck stop? And they just, it's the apotheosis of the truck stop. Like, there is absolutely everything you want there. It's unreal. It's great. There's a bunch of good stuff on the newsletter to this week. Folks are pushing back on green gentrification. The I-70 animal overpass is apparently a political flashpoint. There's a bunch of good stuff cooking in Denver. But what I'm going to do right now is we're going to let Sarah in. She's here. She's here to talk to us about Daffodil. So I'm going to let her in now, and we'll go on. I'm trying to think. Oh, the catalytic converter thieves are back.
Wow.
So beware. Sarah, how are you?
Hello, good afternoon. I am doing well. How are you both doing? Tom, nice to meet you. And Troy, great to meet you as well.
Yes,
Great
three
to
of
meet
us here.
thanks for joining.
Of course, my pleasure. Can you all hear me all right?
Yes, we can.
Yeah,
You
sounds
sound
great.
great. You look great. You're ready to go. I want to introduce you, Sarah, because you have a very cool product launch coming. It's called Daffodil, and it's not just a tool or a product. It's an amazing community service, and I want you to get into it. But first, before we do, it was kind of fun connecting with Sarah the first time because we realized that we have a common, what would you call it, guru?
I think
Potentially?
guru is definitely the right word.
Yeah, so Sarah and I both do hot yoga at Core Power, which is great. And there's a bunch of different Denver locations. Well, one of the teachers at Core Power is a woman named Robin, and she is absolutely incredible. So, like, it was fun when we were talking. We're like, we kind of made the connection. It's like, oh, Robin, and she's the best. So I want to do a shout out to Robin. Next time I see her, I'll tell her we're talking about her on the podcast. But Sarah, tell me what you love about Robin at Core Power Yoga first.
Oh, absolutely. I think when Ryan and I first connected about Robin, I think I said I would go to war for her. Like
Wow.
one word from Robin, and like I'm armed and behind her.
Right.
She has like amazing energy to make you believe anything, whether about yourself or what she's leading you through in the 110-degree and very humid room. But she's amazing. And I told Ryan that, Robin said something to me once that was part of the kind of motivation to take the leap and launch Daffodil. And when I followed up with her, she just looked at me right in the eye and she was like, "No, you did that." She's very powerful in everything she says. So, Robin, we will definitely have to share that with her.
Shout out to Robin.
Awesome.
Okay, tell us about Daffodil. Again, I think you're let us know about your launch party, which I believe is next week. And tell us what Daffodil is and why how people can use it.
Oh, absolutely. So Daffodil is a fintech platform, but what we do is we connect people with causes that matter to them. So our platform is really designed around letting philanthropic dollars flow faster and further. So what we're really focused on is helping people find causes that matter to them and then matching people with the intent and the organizations that they want to invest in. And then we go beyond that. We go beyond that one-time transaction of donating, and we provide ongoing impact data and transparency into what those organizations are doing to move their missions forward and really take that impact out into the world.
So
Awesome.
cool.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So
Our launch party, like Ryan mentioned, is this Thursday. So this Thursday night on June 12th at Crow's Nest on Tennyson Street here in Denver. And we are really proud to be partially sponsored by Blackbaud, which is a terrific software partner for nonprofits in the country. And we're really celebrating our nonprofit pilot partners who have helped us get to this point, our great users, our philanthropists in the community, our early investors, and just the great community that's been part of our growth so far here in Denver.
Cool. So with Daffodil, you'll be able to find NGOs, nonprofits that are near and dear to your heart based on kind of the values that you have. Will it also create volunteer opportunities, or is this kind of donation strictly?
So we're focused on donations and then the connections that flow from that. So you can find the causes that matter to you, see what they're working on, see what their priorities are, and then let the relationship flow from there. So at its core, it's matchmaking. It's helping you find where you want to make a difference.
Cool. One thing I really like, I like to give to Doctors Without Borders, largely because they're very transparent of accounting for every single dollar. And if you look at kind of the political climate right now, what was going on with Doge, this seems to be in vogue of people want to know, if I'm giving you $1, I want to see where 99 cents goes to, as much as you possibly can. So talk a little bit about that transparency or how potential NGOs or nonprofits can be affiliated with you in order to kind of live up to the standard you're looking for.
So you are absolutely right that over the last few years, there's a growing demand for what we call impact visibility, and the values-based tools around that. And it's because we have this expectation that all of this visibility that we have in our lives as consumers, as shoppers, as people who have access to on-demand data for anything we want in our lives, we want to see where our dollars are going with everything else, whether that's giving, whether that's charity, whether that's government and taxpayer dollars. This demand for visibility and transparency, that's something that is absolutely really aligned with people across ages and perspectives and geographies. It's more than just a trend, and it's really a demand.
How do you guys basically account for that transparency? What can people expect on the dashboard of understanding who they're giving to and where that money goes?
So that's one thing that my two co-founders and I have found to be really unique about what we're building, and something that we're really proud of. I come from the nonprofit world myself. I spent about 15 years as a fundraiser. I've worked with nonprofits of all different mission areas, all different budget sizes, everything from grassroots volunteer run to, budgets in the 8-9 figures every year. And we know that for nonprofits that are doing things on a shoestring budget and already trying to account for every dollar they spend, having to find ways of breaking down and communicating and reporting on all their work adds additional burden, an additional burden that they don't have the resources to pay for. So what we do is we tap into the work they're already doing. So Daffodil reads from your social media, we connect to your website, we read from your IRS information that a nonprofit is already submitting. We read through all this data and we extract from it the impact, visibility, and outcomes that the public want to see. So we do this in a way that doesn't add any burden to the people that are already out there running amazing organizations. Doctors Without Borders is a great example.
Yeah,
I really like the metric that you have here, and you're trying to maximize the return on impact, a different way of looking at ROI.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a different type of return, right? It's not about the dollars that are coming back to you as a dividend, but it's really seeing that whatever you're putting out there, whether it's giving your community or a cause that matters to you, you can really see what it's doing. I was speaking with one of our early partners the other day, and he mentioned that the cause he really cares about here in Denver is winter and climate justice, and making sure that any dollar that he's giving to charity is doing more to help preserve our winters. And we were really thrilled to connect him with some great organizations already using our platform that are really making moves in that area and have the outcomes and impact to show for it.
Oh man, I disagree with that guy. He's trying to improve our winters.
Longer, better winters is his priority.
No, I appreciate that. That's cool.
Are there any nonprofits or specific organizations you Daffodil's partnered with right now, or is it more like um, if you want to donate, you can choose any organization you want, and then you guys go out and facilitate the connection?
So that's a yes and answer. So you can use our platform to donate to any nonprofit you want, any organization that speaks to you. But there are a handful who have been great partners to us if we've been building our platform and really stand out for their commitment to transparency and impact. 1,000 Greta's, they're a great example I like to talk to. They are all about climate solutions for a sustainable future. They are great partners. Galvanize USA, other great early partners of ours. They're all about advocacy and civic education. They've been phenomenal partners with us in ways that we can provide real actionable examples of what they're working on. Um, Women's World on Wheels, really great organization based here in Denver. They work on disability rights and accessibility for people in wheelchairs. Women's World on Wheels is a really great partner of ours. We've been really fortunate to have incredible early adopters from the nonprofit space who are really eager to share their impact and eager to step up and show their accountability for those who are interested in kind of putting their dollars where their values are.
That's
And
amazing.
when you go on to Daffodil, are you actually making the donation, the financial transaction through the website?
That's right. So when you go on to Daffodil, you can claim an account and get started right away as a donor, as a person who wants to contribute to the community. You do that by creating a giving account. Our platform is called Compass. And right away, when you fund it, that's a tax deduction right there. So you get your tax deductible paperwork right when you fund your Daffodil account. And then we can help you make those decisions, make that allocation, and decide how you want to move your dollars to support the causes that matter to you. And it's all hosted on our platform. And one thing that we're really proud of is all of the nonprofits that partner with us. We handle all the verification and all the compliance. So we really stand behind every transaction that goes through our platform.
What's the minimum maximum donation you can make through Daffodil?
Well, maximum, I mean, the limit does not exist. We'd love to try that out and see how we can do.
Find a maximum, yeah.
But the minimum right now, you can start an account with $20. We're really good at that. And we don't have subscription fees to get started. Any nonprofit can claim an account right away. We really want to kind of see the momentum and see the great reception from the community as it expands.
It's important. Well, I would say like donating to NGOs and the tax deduction is a great incentive for a lot of people. Times are tough and they're cash strapped. What I love about having a $20 donation is that, like, beyond the tax deduction, there's just a great feeling that comes to donating to something you believe in. If you were to make a case for folks to get on Daffodil, try it out, and send $20 to something they believe in, what kind of feeling would someone get from that?
What I think is really exciting about it is when you get this ongoing feeling of really seeing what your dollars are doing. They're not just going out into a void and you hope that, oh, somewhere out there something good might have happened. You can really see the outcome of your decision and know that you're part of some training that happened, some workshop that occurred, some number of animals that have been placed into homes within our community. With our platform, we can trace every dollar to the impact that it's part of and really see those outcomes together. That's what I think is really, really rewarding for the people that are participating in what we're building so far. It's not that one and done dopamine of like, oh, great, I made a donation, that felt good. But it's really an ongoing experience that you get to have when you see what your dollars have been doing and how they're performing, that return on impact we were referring to.
Yeah. I have a quick question. So I mean the value here for large scale, like consistent donors is really clear. Someone who, is donating consistently, they're also probably working in depth with tax implications of donations and things like that. But can you speak a little bit to your everyday donor, maybe, someone their niece or nephew is running in a 5K and they need a little donation for to fund their run, and then maybe they have a hospital that they went to when they were younger and they want to donate to that, and kind of smaller one-off donations. What kind of benefits could those types of people see from using Daffodil?
Tom, I really love that question because that describes like so many everyday people that are probably more generous than you realize.
Mm-hmm.
So the quick answer I'd say at the beginning here is one, it keeps you organized. So many people might not realize just how generous they've been over the year, even with those examples that you were mentioning.
Yeah.
Their 5K, a hospital that they've had great experiences with, some
Mm-hmm.
local organization,
Sure.
any the animal shelter sends me something in the mail, I like immediately need to respond. But using something like Daffodil, just like any other tool in your financial life, helps you stay organized and see where everything is going,
Mm-hmm.
especially for the end of the year when you want to use those receipts for your own financial management and taxes.
Of
But the
course.
second aspect here is that you get to see how it's all moving forward and how all those transactions are really aligning with your goals and the impact that you want to see. And
Mm-hmm.
the third component of that is it's helpful for the nonprofits themselves. It helps
Yeah.
them see who's supporting them, communicate back to you. And for those organizations, they really struggle with donor attrition, how to stay top of mind to you and how to keep reminding you of the great work that they're doing. And by using something like Daffodil, by using us for helping facilitate that giving, you can see always the impact that your contributions are having on those organizations that matter to you.
Awesome. Yeah, that's super cool. It makes a ton of sense, and I'm really excited to see how this is going to affect like large scale, crowdfunding for these types of organizations and things like that. Because you're right. Like I feel like organizations get checks and they get a person running a 5K who has 50 donors themselves, and then they never really get connected to the end
Yeah. It's that
contributor.
what happens next, what goes beyond that, one-time checkout button.
Mm-hmm.
We really want to go beyond that one-time transaction and make it something that's recurring, something that's sustained. And that's true whether you're someone who gives $20 a month or, is giving $2,000 a month. It's a
Mm-hmm.
behavior, that interest and impact that there's so much potential for. Speaking of that potential, like that was what really motivated us to get started with Daffodil. There's almost $500 billion that Americans give in philanthropy every single year.
Wow. Really cool.
Incredible. Of course, you're a Colorado company. Is there a particular emphasis on Colorado nonprofits, or is this more nationally kind of centered?
That's a great question. So we got started here because I'm a Coloradan. I'm here in Denver, and I think the community here is just unlike anywhere else I've ever lived. And I really experienced that since we've started Daffodil earlier this year. The way that people have leaned in to offer connections, offer advice, be willing to share feedback is absolutely extraordinary.
Hmm.
And we leaned into that by partnering with Colorado-based nonprofits and Colorado-based donors, businesses, supporters in shaping and building out our platform. So at our launch event this Thursday, we're really celebrating that, really special part of that community that we have here, this ethos of supporting each other and how everyone in this ecosystem really lifts each other up.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Tell us again when the launch party is and how people can come and celebrate Daffodil. Also, I think it is absolutely appropriate. You're launching in June because your name is Daffodil, which is
Exactly.
always a sign in Denver that spring's here. You know what I mean? I
Spring
love
is
it.
finally here. The hailstorms are here. It's time. Um, so you can send us a message to RSVP. That's at hello@getdaffodil.com. I also encourage people to follow us on LinkedIn at Daffodil. You can always see updates on what we're up to, and you can subscribe to our newsletter for all these updates, our events, things that we've got going around the community. And you can do that at getdaffodil.com.
Tremendous.
Amazing.
Sarah, we'll link to all that in the show notes. We'll link to it in our newsletter. Congratulations. You know, it's such a cool thing to put into the world. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. We've been really excited with what we're building. We're really proud of it. And the most important part is we think it's really going to help get resources out there in the hands of some really amazing organizations that are having an extraordinary impact on.
Dang, did I freeze?
There was a little bit of a freeze there. I was just saying that we are really excited for what we're building. And the most important part is getting the dollars and resources out there to great organizations that we're proud to work with.
100%. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast and telling us about it.
Of course. Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And everyone in Denver, everyone who's listening, Daffodil's excited to work with you too.
Awesome. Enjoy the launch party this weekend. It's on Thursday, I believe you said, right?
That's
Sounds
right.
great.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you all. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Nice. That was awesome.
Amazing.
That sounds really cool. It sounds like something that could be really useful for even organizations like ours if we ever ended up mobilizing the community or listeners. It's a cool way to kind of track everything that's going on, make sure that everyone gets their right tax breaks and the organization gets their tax breaks and everyone can track everything. So it seems
Make sure
Win-win.
your donation's not being sent off into the abyss. Untrackable. Don't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally. I was sometimes we have the guests do the events, but dude, the events this week are so garish. I was like, I don't want to make Sarah complicit in this. I know Sarah's cool, and she probably would have had fun with it. But I was like, man, I got a couple of things pulled up. I wanted to talk to you guys about event-wise that I wanted to make sure that Sarah had no part of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's swing through some things that are going on. We could swing through a couple quick events and see what might not have been okay for
I
Daffodil.
just scrolling through, I noticed there was something about a safe injection site approved. So I'm assuming that's probably one of the topics, something like that.
Let's get to that one. But first, there's this one that stood out: Shrektacular Burlesque, a wild adult-themed cabaret based on Shrek characters.
Oh, I didn't see that one. Okay.
What?
All right. Where's that at?
HQ.
That's June 14th. Like, let me pull this up. But I'm just totally in for what people get into. But I would just Shrek Burlesque those two things would never have crossed my mind.
I don't know if I'm gonna ever be able to watch Shrek again.
I don't understand personally. But this place looks interesting. This is HQ Denver. Fairy tale glamour and ogre-sized fun. We're about to show you the most fabulous and sexy way possible. These are just regions of my brain. Shrek does not exist with anything sexual at all.
It's a kids movie.
Right. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I mean,
All right.
Step into our swamp of seduction.
dude, I mean,
Is someone trolling?
No, I think it's definitely real. $25 admission this Saturday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
HQ Denver, it seems like they have a whole events calendar, really interesting things. But, now I feel a little guilty about even bringing it up during Sarah's. Maybe it's a good balance. It's the yin and the yang. You have the wholesomeness like Daffodil, which is so cool. But you also got to know that out here, we're doing a Shrek Burlesque. That's the ballast of Denver, Colorado. It's amazing.
If you were gonna go and you had to choose a character, what character are you choosing?
As in Shrek Burlesque?
Yeah. Maybe
Farquhar.
Lord Farquaad. Lord Farquaad. Yeah. Or
Wow.
Donkey would be good. Pinocchio.
All of those are mentioned here, actually, in the description. So
Well represented. It sounds fun. Okay, another event. Palate cleanser. This is something near and dear to the podcast heart. But it's been raining so much. I was at Sloan's, there's like mushrooms popping up everywhere. The mycelia are active, and it just in the right time. There is a mushroom foraging hike June 15th. You can join amateur mycologist for a guided mushroom hunt at Staunton State Park, which is super wet this type of year. So you can go check that out. But like, it is actually perfectly primed for an unbelievable date. I mean, it's only happened to me a couple of times in my entire life. I would say like maybe 3 or 4 times when I'm in the mountains with the right environment, the right precipitation happens somehow miraculously, and you walk into the forest of Colorado and it is mushrooms everywhere. And it's the coolest thing in the world. It is just, it's unbelievable because there's so many different species. Of course, I'm always looking for the Amanita muscaria, but there's so many different varietals of for mycologists to get out there and appreciate. So like if people were looking for something to do outdoors during mud season, I mean, let's be honest, right now it's going to be ghastly if you're trying to actually go on a hike, but to go look, just kind of forage around with the fairies and look around for mushrooms, it's a great weekend for it.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, without a doubt. I mean,
Nice.
Last week when I left to head down to Austin, it was just nonstop with the rain and thunderstorms, and then I know it even over the weekend was even worse for a sec. So we got lots of water these past couple weeks.
I'm noticing too, these links are all bogus on the.
I saw that. I saw that too.
Something's
Sorry about
happening
that,
with
guy.
that. That's all right.
I don't know what's up with that. Okay, we also have the Evergreen Rodeo and Parade. That sounds fun. We've got the Denver Roller Derby double header. That sounds fun. There is Puff, Pass, and Paint, cannabis-friendly painting class in South Denver. Nightly, that must be popular. Jigsaw dating. Psychedelic Science Expo is the 16th through 20th, so that's next weekend. And then we have a gigantic one, Top Taco, which is on Saturday. So that one's fun. I've been to that one several times. I wonder if my buddy Jeff is still putting that on, but that's a good one.
Nice.
Yeah.
These are all pretty solid here. But yeah, it's funny, those links that came through, just they don't want to click, but that's fine. We'll make sure we have all the right stuff in the description for everyone to check out.
Yeah,
I
I'll
see-
fix the links.
I see a news item that Casa Bonita delays reopening. Have they been closed?
I did not know that,
Wow.
but
Interesting.
apparently it's a major problem.
Yeah.
I'm pretty certain that they're open.
Yeah, I was at the Ross right next to Casa Bonita, I don't know, 3 days ago, and it looked like there were people outside and the fountain was going. I'm not sure.
That's what I'm saying too. I was right over there as well. Let me just double check here.
God, shout out to Ross.
Yeah,
Love that place.
that entire strip mall down there is always popping.
Oh, totally, man. That place is on fire. They got that pizza spot. What's it called? Cece's or something on the corner?
Yeah, CC is so popular over in Florida. I haven't actually seen one since I was in Florida.
The Goodwill right there is great, especially for donating, because it has like kind of like a highway that you can go and drop stuff off. I mean, some of these Goodwills are a little bit choosy when you go to drop stuff off and they're like saying yes and no. It's like, dude, what?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. But
Yeah.
that one, they're always just, I think they do such high volume that they just take everything. And that's not to say that I'm like dropping garbage on the Goodwill. If I wouldn't be in the market to buy it, I'm not donating it. I think that's just rude. But still, they're like, we don't need any, cross country skis. I'm like, really? Seasonal requests? Wow.
That's wild. You think that'd be a hot item?
I'm saying, but it just depends. Not in the spring. They're like, hey, we want tennis rackets and padel and pickleball, whatever.
Huh.
Wow.
Who knows?
Looks like they have some reservations that you can make right now. It's really popular, so you can't make anything up until I think the 24th might be the earliest reservation they have, but
That's not bad.
I think they're open. Yeah, you can get, and once that date hits, there's plenty of times available.
Nice. Okay. Oh yeah. It just call back, Troy, to what you were talking about. The safe injection site is approved.
Yeah,
Denver Board of Health approved a supervised drug use site on Capitol Hill.
that's wild. I see both sides of the argument, definitely.
I know.
Uh,
Totally.
the neighborhood groups vow to fight the quote heroin lounge. Who coined that term? That's crazy.
Heroin lounge.
That's crazy.
I mean, at this point, I'd almost be in favor of a heroin lounge. It seems like it's a fentanyl overdose is really what it's going to be.
Yeah,
You know, I don't know.
that's wild.
Yeah. Did you guys
Crazy.
happen to catch Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, on Rogan last week?
No.
Mm-mm.
It was interesting for a couple of reasons. One, because Kash Patel is like a total bro. So it's kind of, I don't know, it just sat weird with me that like there's like this super bro guy that's the top cop in the entire country.
Wow.
You know, but he did talk about what they're doing to kind of bust up fentanyl operations. What he was saying is that, you know, they've clamped down so hard in like Mexico that they've moved all the like operations in to Canada. So essentially what happens is China's making all the precursors for fentanyl and they ship it to Canada and they have some kind of labs up there where they create the pills and distribute it here. What he was saying was that other countries, you know, India, China, nobody else has fentanyl problems. Like it's all just based, you know, for one reason or the other to like on American markets. So I don't know. It was encouraging in the sense that it's like, okay, this is a top priority for the FBI right now, is that like kind of busting up all this fentanyl use because I mean, we all see it, you know, it's sad on a human level and from like just like a city level it's just like a disgrace, you know, to see people half bent over next to the 7-Elevens is it's embarrassing across the entire country. So
Yeah.
you know, I don't know, you know, safe injection site is that like are people even doing heroin? I don't even know if that's a problem anymore. It seems like fentanyl took over everything.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you
Yeah.
do that there, do you have to stay or do they just let you go after?
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Seems like a short-term solution to the bigger problem, but
Yeah.
could be a step in the right direction. Who knows? I'm surprised the FBI director went on Rogan. Like, I wonder what the incentive. Like, you're a director of the FBI. Why are you going on the Joe Rogan podcast? You know, I don't know. It's weird.
I know.
Seems like Joe's just going to be asking questions that he's not allowed to answer.
Or like, yeah, I can't think of a reason why you would need to do it.
I don't know. It's interesting. Obviously, a fan of podcasting. I think it's awesome because it's like okay, well, and also because the way he talks is very natural. Like he just sounds like a bro. Seriously, it seems like he's like a, you know, he's very credentialed and he's a Trump appointee and he was working for the director division or what is it DOJ. But still, he's just like, oh, what's up, man? Like, dang, the director of the FBI is like, oh, what's up, man? You know, so what's interesting about the administration though is you see like not only that but what's his name, the vice president Vance,
Mm-hmm.
he was on Theo's podcast last week. So like I think they're doing like a really cool thing which is like just putting themselves in honestly vulnerable situations. If you're talking to comedians, like you better be able to roll with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
Could be a whole initiative to just recapture the podcast generation and make sure they're rock solid.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
A part of me still likes the formality of office. You know, it was like when we were growing up, I don't know if this was with you guys, but like there was like a formal English that you spoke in formal situations. And then the way you talk to your buddies was a different way. But all those lines seem to be blurred now, you know, where it's like you just kind of talking to your buddies all the time. And now it's the top offices in the country are just like kind of like broing down and dapping people up and whatever. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
Maybe it's just
the
it might just,
ultimate social media promoters.
yeah,
Kind of what it comes down to.
smart. Smart.
Wow.
Nice. Well, I know we got a late start. You guys got anything before we get out of here? I want to make sure we hit your beats.
I, I'll real quickly just talk about the Denver Brunch Fest because we're gonna be doing some giveaways for this. Not this week, not next week, but I think the week after is when we're gonna be coordinating with our friends over at Drink Denver for Denver Brunch Fest. But it's exactly what it sounds like. And the reason that we're doing these giveaways so early because this event is going to be August 23rd from 12 to 4 p.m. The reason we're doing it so early is because this is one of their most popular events, and they are probably going to run out of tickets well before August. So this is exactly what you think it is. You're going to have brunch from all of the local bests. Drinks, unlimited drinks. Let me try to see how many people we got here. Tickets right now going for $101, and you're gonna have a 3-hour time slot to get in there. Early entry, you get an extra 30 minutes. VIP, you get an extra hour, so you'd have a 4-hour time slot. But I mean, more than 40 dishes to sample, plus pretty much every place is going to have their own drink. Really cool stuff over at the Tivoli Quad. So this is one of Drink Denver's most popular events of the year. I could tell why, because all the stuff looks really good. So I just wanted to throw that out there. They let me know that this one usually sells out a month or two in advance. So we are going to be doing some giveaways a little bit later on towards the end of June to make sure that some of our listeners can get in there.
Amazing.
And then
3-hour brunch is the right amount of time. That's really
yeah,
the proper brunch, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
yep, 3-hour bottomless brunch, not only drinks but food as well. So you could try all your favorite brunch restaurants and find out about some new ones at the same time.
Unbelievable.
And then in terms of music, it's festival season. All the bass people, all the DJs and dance acts are out of town. They're hopping around to all the festivals. But tonight we have Sheryl Crow at Red Rocks.
Cool.
Nice.
Tomorrow, Block Party. Thursday,
Nice.
Stick Figure. And then Friday and Saturday, you have each night an evening with James Taylor and his all-star band.
Nice.
Sunday, you got Trevor Hall. And then Monday, Lindsay Sterling with the Colorado Symphony Orchestra. She's super cool violin player. That's what we got. It's a pretty not too many sub-frequencies at Red Rocks this weekend.
The olds took over Morrison again.
Mm-hmm. Looks like a good lineup, though, for that.
Nice. How about you, Troy? You got anything before we get out of here?
We can punt the sports takes, no pun intended. Punt the sports takes to next. Sorry,
I like that. That was pretty good.
To next week.
Yeah.
We could push them to next week. We'll just do maybe we'll do one extra sports news item next week.
Okay. Well, one thing stands out though: most boring finals ever. Are people saying that?
I think that was a hot take. Maybe me. It might be an internal opinion. The headlines may be a little clickbaity, but it hasn't been as exciting. I don't know. Just without the stars, no Jokic, no LeBron, no Curry. I don't know. It's been a little different this year.
No big men, really.
Yeah, it's the young guys. I get it, and it's the up and coming superstars. It just doesn't have that same spark or superstar aura that other finals have had in the past. But
you know what it is, and I've said it before. It's the OKC fans have zero energy. Watching the games in OKC, I'm just like, look at all their matching T-shirts as they sit down quietly and barely applaud for a good shot. I can't handle it.
Well,
it absolutely makes me insane.
They're going crazy when they're winning and they're scoring, but if any sort of momentum shift happens for the Pacers or OKC has a little dry spell for a few minutes, they're all silent. They're not
zero energy.
Yeah, they're not in it the whole game.
It's unbelievable.
That's boring.
Yeah.
I know, it drives me crazy. I'm like, God, I want to like this team because they're so defensive. I like it, but the fans make it impossible.
Mm-hmm.
OKC fans, where's your joy? Where is the love of sports? You spent $1,000 for those seats. What are you doing?
It's not
My
Oh,
good.
this is gonna make a great TikTok clip right there.
Yeah. Oh man.
Sports rants.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have the comment section fired up.
Good, man.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm still pissed from OKC because I'm a Supersonics fan. I miss the Seattle Supersonics, OKC Thunder, whatever. Go
Mhm.
Pacers.
Yeah, I think I'm on the Pacers bandwagon now too. They just want to root for the underdog.
No doubt.
Damn.
All right. Cool,
Cool.
boys. Sarah, thank you so much for coming on. Congratulations. Daffodil looks so cool. I'm actually going to create, I think, a profile with my kids, and we can look around at different causes that are important to us. And, it's really fun to be able to support people doing good stuff. And, honestly, a lot of these causes, it's the lifeblood of keeping them in business, is the generosity of people. So for her opening that up for more people to be able to donate is so beautiful. So thanks, Sarah.
Yeah, getdaffodil.com. We'll put that into the show notes as well.
Doubt. Cool. Thanks, guys. We will see you next week.
All right, see you next week.
Have a good one. See ya.